Hey guys, you're now listening to a flashback episode. Classic shows now with an all new restored audio. Our older seasons of the show were pretty rough in the early days, so we're glad to bring them back to you clearer than ever. Be sure to rate and review on your fave podcast stores. Now let's get into some nostalgia.
Introducing the new mini album, Saint Remixed. 7 new remixes and 7 new visualizers. Featuring classic standout tracks and unheard vocals from Saint, reimagined into new electro mixes including dubstep, trap, and more. Buy or stream now from all major music stores worldwide including Beatport, iTunes, Apple Music, and Spotify now. Don't forget to watch Saint's CGI music video for the new remix Single Time, out now on Vivo.
This episode originally aired on February 27th, 2021.
Welcome back to Vexxed Uncensored with me, Moe Vader, and
me, Saint.
And we are back for another episode of Vexxed Uncensored.
Hey. Oh, it feels good to be back. We did have a week off, didn't we? Even though it did feel like a week off.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a week off, but to be fair with you, it wasn't really a week off. There's beautiful, wonderful other projects coming your way, people.
That is very true. I can't wait for that.
Yes, as you know, we're a 2-man team.
Yes.
And sometimes
2-man army.
2-man army. There we go. 2-man army. That's for another platform.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. Yeah. But we've got, I don't know who we're talking about this week, but we're sure to find out. You're gonna go first.
Now for the hottest topics.
Hot topic, right. Is that Landa?
That's the new Mars rover. They landed a new Mars rover and everyone was like, wow, oh my God, this is amazing. Americans obviously like, wow, like going on like they've landed on Mars. Like they have touched Mars, foot upon Mars, like they've done that. They haven't. It's another robot.
It's a robot.
Yeah. It's just driving around, just seeing like, yeah, nothing special, but apparently it's a big deal if it's Mars.
Yeah, allegedly, it's alleged.
It's like Utah to me, but
on the interweb, they say it's the Grand Canyon.
Oh right.
They've taken images of the Grand Canyon, and changed the hue, put like a orange hue filter over it, and
they've admitted to a certain degree in the past that they've faked things, haven't they? I'm sure they have.
They've had to simulate what the atmosphere and environment appeared to look like.
Yeah, I think they should be transparent, but apparently it's national security. Anything could be considered national security, anything. So, I guess it's one big step for mankind, as they say. It just feels like they've been doing the same shit since we've been alive, like, which is like under 30 years. Well, there's Mars that's bored me. So do you regret smoking?
Yeah.
Ever smoking? Do you regret it? Like,
I regret.
Completely?
I regret my second smoking session. So my first smoking experience.
Is this weed or cigarette?
Weed.
Okay.
Cigarette. I regret my first cigarette. I don't even remember it. But
I remember my first cigarette. It was actually at a friend of ours. Shout out to Danelle. Back in the day, yeah. And we would drink on the weekends, and I think they were casual smokers, I think. So I remember, and all my family smoked pretty much. So I remember smoking my first cigarette, and it didn't feel like my first cigarette. It didn't at all. I just felt like, okay. And then I treated it like normal. It was the weirdest thing. But I only used to smoke on weekends. Yeah, until I was 18.
Well, for me, I remember the first time I took a pull off a cigarette.
Yeah.
And it was a few of the neighborhood hood rats that had given me a pull off of it.
Yeah.
And I was somewhere between 5 and 6 years old.
Right.
I remember coughing like a madman, my eyes tearing up.
Yeah.
And then I was not interested in cigarette at all until after my first cannabis experience.
Really?
Yeah. My first cannabis experience was that summer holidays between year 9 and year 10 in the park. 2 beautiful honeys, my neighborhood friend, who was older than me, by I think 3 years or so. 3 or 4 years. And that experience was wonderful. I should have smoked that once and never touched it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I regret smoking.
I don't remember my first spliff now. I don't remember that. No idea. I mean, I might have even tried weed before I had my first cigarette. I actually don't remember at all. So yeah, cigarette, definitely. I regret that because it's just pointless. Like, there's no enjoyment, especially after you've had weed. You realise there's nothing from cigarettes other than like a cloggy chest. And like a bit of a stimulant in the mornings or something, or mine's associated with coffee. So if I drink coffee, I want a cigarette. But that's the only real time. So other than that, it's kind of habit, boredom, yeah, maybe anxiety, smoke a fag. If one does that, they get a fag when they're just to cuss someone, or if something's just happened, they get a fag out. Do you know what I mean? Or even if you're just having a conversation with someone, oh, let's get a fag out. It's like a social thing as well.
I feel the nicotine rush. I feel the nicotine levels.
And dizzy ones sometimes when you're in had one time and you get the
I need it like 20 to 24 hours of no smoking.
I need like 4 days at least.
After that 24 hours, and I smoke one. Sitting down.
I can cold turkey fags a day later, so it has to be 24 hours. The first day will be a bitch, trust me. Like, I won't even show it, but I'll be like, oh my, whoa, I'll just be like, I need a cigarette. But the next day I forget that I smoke. Always happens, and I don't know if it's like my memory issue or whether it's just my body. It's just like, oh, okay, didn't really like it.
Maximum I can cold turkey is about 3 to 6 hours, 3 to 9.
Yeah,
I think I did 9 hours at one point this week because I didn't have filter tip. Right. So I made. It sounds like such a minute amount of time, but the addictive grasp that it has over me. 9 hours is like I thought I deserved the gold star.
That's a long time.
Not a camp gold star.
Yeah.
Well done, gold star.
Camp gold star, what's that?
big, yeah, you just get it.
Wait, camp, so when you...
The camp gold star. Gold stars that would get you into camp.
What, Holocaust?
You didn't say Holocaust. Not Holocaust.
Oh.
Not Holocaust.
Okay, I think I know what you mean.
Ah, shit.
Sorry, I'm slow today.
Shit, I'm to get cut
today.
out.
Yeah,
we got projects coming out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's tar ourselves.
We'll get confused by a lot of them.
Yeah. All right, then. Should we move on to the next topic?
Yes, we should. Do you wanna? Oh, you go on.
Okay, the next topic is Dr. Dre.
Well, whatever it is, I'm not surprised. After he assaulted that interviewer in the 90s or 2000, proper whacked her around.
Yeah, DJ, I can't remember her name. Forgive us, we can't. Otherwise, we'll shout you out, because...
Yeah, she got paid. Surely she must have got paid.
Yeah, I doubt enough. Because she got blacklisted as well.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, so she has struggled. Basically, I remember it was some talk show and someone had shouted her out and basically done, was it not a GoFundMe, but like a fundraising, because she was like about to be evicted and be homeless, didn't have the money to even sort herself out. Yeah. Like, she used to be quite a big, big popping on TV and everything, and he cut it dead. So yeah, people who don't know the incident, there was a lady who we were talking about, and she reported at the time in the 90s that Dre was smacking around his wives, his girlfriends, like everybody, not just women, men too. And yeah, he listening party in a club, she goes in, he harasses her, she goes in a bathroom, he comes into the female's bathroom, kicks the fuck out of her, then she manages to get out to the like floor of the club where everyone is, thinking she'll be safe there, and he kicks the fuck out of her in front of everyone, and no one does nothing, and yeah, after that she was screwed, her career screwed. So that's one incident. So
I think now he's back in the media for being implicated with Omarion's baby mama.
Yes, April from Love and Hip Hop.
Right. Who was it that dropped him in it? Was it Monish or Monique?
Monique Slaughter.
Is that Lil Fizz's baby mama?
Yeah.
The messed up one?
Yeah, the one. And she turned gay for a little bit, and then...
Yeah, publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Or a personal journey of development.
And it's nuts because as you grow up with the likes of like Brandy, Ray J, like From Kids and stuff, like some big people, talented people. She thinks sings, but you wouldn't know it because she's always in mess. But yeah, she said in an interview with Carol G, I think she said that, yeah, basically they're together and it's been for a while.
Messy Moniece.
Yeah, and I don't think her and April were talking at the time. So apparently Dre's got people to ring off her phone and threaten her and say, "Shut your mouth, bitch. Don't you motherfucking talk about nothing about me. And we know where you live and this and that." So yeah, she gone on Instagram Live and done a whole spiel about your aneurysm. You thought that was going to take you out? She said, "I'm in my fucking aneurysm now, bitch. I'm the aneurysm." That's what she said. So rest in peace to her.
Rest in peace.
Because hello, he don't care. Like, he don't care.
They're gonna do her in.
Especially now he's billionaire. Come on now. If you were that raggedy when you had nothing, what you gonna be now?
This appears to be a double of the previous one.
What one's that?
So this is Mars landing, and the previous one that I took was Russia's. What's that? Russia versus
Venus.
Lander. Here, take this one.
Yeah. So I got them mixed up. So basically, yeah. So you picked the next topic. It's the Russian Venus lander. So basically, the Russians have managed to get on planets like footage of Venus.
But isn't Venus like sub-zero temperatures and things allegedly freeze instantly, and the nitrogen gas on there is lethal? And
don't know how they've done that then, but yeah,
I think it's time to rush over to Google and see what I can make happen.
Yeah, because I got the two stories confused because they're just both kind of insufficient. The Venus one's more interesting, and it's the Russians. I'm not sure if they fake things. I'm sure the Russians. Usually the Americans had to kind of get in before the Russians and fake things.
Everyone has to fake things.
Yeah,
some of them fake an orgasm, others fake personality just to get a faked orgasm.
That's true.
It's a win-win situation
for everyone.
Yeah. Some develop their acting whilst chasing pussy, and others develop their acting whilst receiving dick. It's a beautiful thing. It's the circle of life.
The circle of life.
Right, so Russia, Venus. Russia.
I think they got video footage on, I believe.
I would not believe that.
I always thought Venus was one of those planets, like you said, you couldn't really get on, or...
Yeah, it melted. So it's alleged. It's been reported 5 hours ago that Russians captured incredible photos from the surface of Venus before lander melted.
Okay, so they were like, almost there.
Look at that.
And then it was goo.
It was launched in 1981 and took 4 months to arrive on Venus, eventually landing in 1982.
And they've only just got the information back?
Yeah.
The video?
Yeah.
It took 40 years almost.
For the pictures to travel back. So, because I remember being told the atmosphere is super acidic and it's like very high nitrogen.
They said it melted before it got there. That looks like it's on the planet. What are they talking about?
Goodness me, look. Yeah, this is...
That's HHHD. That's HHHD. Apple Retina shit. That's a clear photo.
Well, apparently, all our photos and all our videos are and were always in HD. It's the capacity of the devices that can display it in HD.
Yeah, you're right, because that's how they can remaster old TV shows and expand it from the analog ratio to widescreen. And sometimes you see the little, what do they call them? The microphones that they put over you. You'll see them or you'll see above the set. Cause where they've done the widescreen. Who was it? A big one they fucked up? Buffy. I think when they've recently remastered that, people are complaining because, the makeup on some of them in the earlier series look really shit because they've not done the shadowing right in the remaster. You can see, what are they? Bong? Is it called? Bong? I'm not sure.
What, the big microphone?
On a stick, microphone on a stick that's like hanging down. You can see like a guy like bending down, squatting down with headphones on in one shot. It's hilarious. But yeah, you're right. It's always captured the way it is in real life.
Well,
I mean, it looks fake. It's just a yellow sky, guys, with like a dusty, crusty desert ground and a little bit of a robot thing. It doesn't look very authentic to me. But
I just find the name Venus funny because of anus and penis.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of rhyming words and whatnot. So, you're choosing choosing one next, aren't you? I've already opened one, so I know which one I'm going to do next.
Okay.
This isn't one, is it? There's only 2 left here.
Oh, nice. All right, let me pick this one. Let's hope it's interesting. It's been a slow news week, unless I can remember anything. Framing Britney. Oh, yes, I came across this. Justin Timberlake implicated in, he stitched her up with that Crimea River song. Yeah. So, the documentary it was the New York Times. They've done a documentary and it's about Britney in this conservatorship. Been in it for 13 years now. You know, when she was battering the car with her shaved head. So yeah, the conservatorship is usually for old people who have lost the capacity for self-care. So your human rights get taken away by the court system and get appointed to somebody, a guardian. So you're basically treated like an infant and you have no control over your finances enough because the court believes that everyone should be protected financially, and therefore their excuse is you could give away your money, which, you know, whatever, that's their excuse. So this happened to Britney when she was like 20-something, early 20s.
Before she even got to the universal age of maturity, before 21 or so.
Yeah, she had like basically a legend status career by the time this had happened. And then during the conservatorship, she's done multiple albums, I think 4. She's done like 3 Vegas residencies. She's done world tours. She's done singles, music videos, sponsorship deals, all of this. And the whole point of conservatorship is that she's not allowed like stuff like a phone. She's not allowed to drive. She's not allowed a right to her own attorney. She's not allowed to speak to her doctor in regards to requests of what she wants or about her medical or the drugs they give her. She's not allowed to have full custody of her children. She basically can't do anything without her father's approval because he's the one in charge. And the documentary is focusing on the fact that if she's so impaired mentally that she needs all of this, such a restrictive conservatorship, even for an old person, and she's not old at all, she's 33, which is nuts to think about. She's only 33 or something like that. And they're trying to say that if that's the case, then why has she been earning hundreds of millions for her conservatorship? And they're being paid, like several people are being paid hundreds of thousands in matter of like spaces over a few months to be in charge of her company. Justin Timberlake has apologized to her for when they broke up when they were 22.
27. It was 27 years old when they slapped her with that.
Really? So he was 27. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Justin Timberlake was the first one to kick off the media attacks on her by claiming she cheated on him with Wade Robson, the same guy who come out all these years later talking about Michael Jackson fiddled with him and was exposed as a liar. She supposedly cheated on Justin with him. You remember Slave For You around that time? And he did Crimea River video, and asked her for her permission for an impersonator to be in it, but didn't tell her they were filming it and skewing it with the narrative that he was cheated on by her and that she was not faithful. Well, apparently that wasn't the truth. He just span it in all interviews saying demonizing her. And so Diane Sawyer did an interview with her when she was 22, and made her cry in the interview. She said that one of the senator's wives or whatever said that if they had a gun and they were standing next to Britney, they'd shoot her in the head.
Cheating on Justin Timberlake. What the fuck?
For giving a bad example to children. And this is before she, quote unquote went crazy, which is inaccurate. But they're basically saying that she's locked up against their will. And then it was kind of like a conspiracy theory, if they wanted to call it that, until Britney recently, for a lawyer, did a statement to the court saying that she's scared of her dad. He's threatened to take her kids away for the last 13 years if she didn't do as he says. And he's abusive, and she wanted him out. And what they've done instead is give half of her conservatorship to Britney and the lawyer's preferred bank called the Vexxed Trust. So they're going to be in control of half of it. And obviously this is who Britney trusts to manage half of her business now, and that was against her dad's wishes. But they've done that. It's pretty big deal. They've not ended it.
Well, I know what is the favourable outcome. She should have not had any matters with the bank.
Yeah.
And well, accidents happen, don't they? So
I mean, I think because right now she's a cash cat. Like, someone said it, I think it's Cher. Like, you know, bare people now, because of this documentary, even though this has been going on for years, are speaking out saying, shit, man, this is like nuts.
Yeah, it is. It's slavery.
Yeah,
she's a slave.
She's an actual slave. And David LaChapelle, you know, legendary photographer, music video artist, creator and stuff. There's a video he says he shot for her that never came out. Her direction on the video was to be in a cage, to be shackled up, to be all of this shit, because she felt like that's how she felt. And he was like, okay, like, wow, I wasn't expecting that from pop princess Britney Spears. And then when she had that quote unquote breakdown, her reasoning was she wanted to go and get a haircut, and because of all the paparazzi outside, and because it was Britney Spears and all the tabloids, no one would cut her hair. Like, literally,
because they hated her so much from the tabloids.
Yeah, and saying, oh, you're nuts, what you gonna, like, they didn't even want to have anything to do with her. So she was like, I'm gonna cut my own fucking hair. So the last place she stopped off, she literally got the thing and just thought, fuck it, I'm cutting my hair off. There was rumours saying, oh, she's doing it to avoid drug testing. Well, that's bullshit, because there's plenty of other ways to test for drugs.
Your blood.
Exactly.
Your blood.
Your piss, your spit, like, what do you want? You know what I mean? And all of this, and she absolutely got slaughtered, and the media, like, everyone's pointing out the misogyny of the media back then, and how bad they treated people, like even Janet Jackson, where Justin ripped off the titty cover. Apparently it wasn't staged. Apparently he was meant to rip the leather off, and then the bustier was meant to be there, and that's why she had the nipple ring underneath it instead of like a pasty, just to give a bit of a, like, you know what I mean? He's ripped it all off. Titty's there hanging out with this big star, fucking, whether it's a piercing or whatever, and she got banned from the Grammys. The NFL screwed her over. She was basically like done. And Justin Timberlake, nothing happened to him. He went on to continue to sell that. So he just ruined the legend. Never apologized.
Didn't he allegedly call one of the owners of the NFL begging and...
Yeah. I think he's been Me Too'd since. But the owner of the NFL at that time, Justin called him and begged and pleaded for him to be forgiven and to basically be spared. And he did. He spared him. Janet was like, nope, done. Black titty on our TV screens? Like, no, that's a Jackson. So what did she do? She got married to a billionaire in Saudi Arabia and then came back and said he was abusive, and she messed her life up, man. Janet was like doing it. So he's apologized to her too, and everyone's like, is it too late? Has he apologized too late? Is it just convenient?
Of course, it's convenience, because
white sympathy.
Not even white sympathy. There's
poor little white boy. Like,
there's nothing to be sorry about. It's just that the stories, all the controversies tend to come out at a 5 to 20 year delay, because in that immediate decade, it's in everyone's favor to shut up and get on with making the money. And once the money starts to fade away and people's careers fizzle out and they need relevant, they then go back to spilling the beans. It's either that, or there is a genuine system of 10-year non-disclosure to the media. The media sit on it. And after 10 years, just like with technology, there's that delay period to the public and the general population. I think it's controlling it's a way of controlling the tap. They're controlling the tap amongst themselves and among those circles they knew.
Do you remember, like, everyone, I mean, us growing up, right? So we were like, maybe, I don't know, quite young when Hit Me Baby, when that came out, right? And yeah, it was kind of like, as she grew as a star, she got more adult, but when she would perform, even black people would say, wow, that white girl can dance her fucking arse off. And when you go back and watch the things, you're like, shit, man, like, she's a contender, like, she's really talented. And after the conservatorship started, she was like lazy, and everyone was like, oh, she's lost it. Now that's the worst, when they write it off, because they're like, you got no talent no more. She doesn't sing live, because of the conservatorship. Do you know how long they've ripped her for not singing live at a concert? She's not allowed. She gets a little bit in, they pass her a separate mic for her to do the interlude chat to the audience, and they take it away and she's got a fake thing there. And that's it, literally, because she's not allowed. All ET and all these big news platforms are coming out, reporters saying, listen, for years when we interview Britney Spears, it's a strict list. There's about 10 people in the room standing over her, watching her. If we ask anything, right, we get shut down. They have to sign off on every interview she does. They can't put nothing out without their say so. Like, it's so MK Ultra type shit, like complete mind control. And so she's on Instagram doing interpretive dances and shit, trying to live her life and be happy in this prison, bruv. Like, just trying to stay happy, doing stupid shit. Like, everyone's going, oh my goodness, she's reverted to a child. She's like mental case. What would you do? You get up, you run around, do yoga, you dance to your music, you think, fuck it, I don't care what no one thinks of me. Like, let me have fun and maybe like bring, you know, some levity to what I'm associated with. But yeah, like, what would you think legally? Do you think that's okay? Like,
Them say I jail for me. Yeah, it will happen. That would be the outcome. I would sit in the house and say, right, all 10 of you pick me up, get me prepared, get me ready.
Yeah.
Put me in front of that place and you move my arms, you make my voice work, you make my body move. I will not move.
I think someone recently reported that oh, it's not funny, like, but it's ridiculous. But she lives in LA, I think, but it's like a lockdown out there partially or something. Anyway, she met a friend at the beach, like, so she stayed far away and they just walked down the beach and chatted to each other. Her dad grounded her for 3 weeks. I feel like grounded her. You can't go nowhere, you can't talk like legit. Trying to say, well, it's COVID-19, you shouldn't even be able to like,
I hope a load of marbles or toy truck coincidentally happened to live and remain at the top of the staircase, and
like, I'm not wishing death on anyone, but apparently he's on his way out soon, because he's like, he had to step down in the capacity. He was still other people managing, like his lawyers and shit managing stuff, but he had to step down in the capacity about 6 months ago in a certain like partial way for health reasons.
So will his final will and testament supersede her ability to break out of the conservatorship if he passes away? I mean, if he's transferred his conservatorship rights and powers in his will to a law firm or whosoever, then
I think a court would have to sign off on it, but it would be, I'd say so. But I think that was more of a fear before this overturn, where half of it's been given to this bank. So if he does die, then half of it.
Bankers can easily agree amongst themselves that they're here to sell products.
But she's only worth 60 million, right? Because she's had to pay so much out during the 13-year period. Like, Britney Spears is only worth 60 million right now, because she's had to like do as she's told. Like, she's not even allowed control of her own money. She's not allowed to touch a penny. Like, this is a grown-ass megastar woman who's worked her whole fucking life. Like, don't know how she survived mentally, but after I've seen that documentary. And I remember it, obviously we grew up in it. We saw how the media was, interviews and shit. Diane Sawyer and Oprah and, you know, what Oprah did to Whitney in that mad interview and fucking just ruin these people. And yeah, it was kind of normal, but yeah, she's not even allowed a penny of her own money. So this Vessima Trust, a part of the reason why she's put over is to make some fucking money. Like, if they can manage half of it and have half a say-so of the Britney Corporation, now she can take much more deals. She can like agree, most likely, who knows? But she's gonna rake in a lot of money. She's still young. If she gets released from this, she'll get her passion back for dancing.
Well, if she does, I just hope that she takes the time to heal and enjoy a bit of her life, enjoy some degree of respiration and her freedom. And, you know, if you've got it, you've got it. If you don't, you don't. But in the meantime, she deserves to side freedom, privacy, and
for sure. I bet she's dying to just travel the world. Yeah. All that money.
Just do what you want. Go and do what you want.
Oh, she said officially she will not perform while her dad's in control of her trust. Like, she's not gonna perform.
Well, that's a
big statement, isn't it?
Proof of capacity.
Yeah. Like, she's standing up for herself. She's like, this isn't right. You know what I mean?
What reasoning was there behind giving away her right to?
That's why everyone's like, what was the reason this judge made that decision? And every every judge since has continued, like, what is this? What is it? Do you know what I mean? Because nothing got out in the press that was anything too bad. She did that video, I remember, and I remember seeing it, like, when it first came out and being like, whoa, this is weird. Because she's running through a hospital in white and she dies in the bathtub naked, and some guy, like, grabs her, and it's like a lot. But yeah, like, I think that was a sign of maybe she might have tried to commit suicide or something. But even that, if you're conservatorship in somewhat, when she could have just simply got therapy or something, you know what I mean? Or the issues that she was facing be addressed. And I think she made that video when she was in the conservatorship, so they're probably causing her to mentally regress. I know I fucking would. But yeah, I mean, good luck to her.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think we've got one more. Oh, we've got one already.
It's the Shia LaBeouf.
Ah, yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. Do you remember him? What was he in? Round the Twist? Was it Round the Twist?
No, it was Even Stevens and Transformers.
That's it, yeah.
And then that old-timey 90s, 50s gang, like, you know the...
Mafioso?
I don't know what it was called. Forgot what it was
Italian
called.
gangsters.
I think so. I don't know. I never saw it. I just remember the picture and seeing him, the poster, and seeing him in it. Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I haven't watched something really recently with him. I know he's been in a lot, hasn't he?
Not recently.
Or independent shit.
Oh, was it independent?
Most likely.
So you have to go looking for him.
I don't think he's insurable.
He's not insurable.
No, I doubt on a major set, because he probably don't turn up on time. He's probably in trouble. He might disappear during breaks, like things like that. Lindsay Lohan lost her insurability for a while and got it back. If you're unreliable, no one's going to insure you to be on set. Like, no one's going to put that for these $1 million, like all of these productions. They're not going to do it. Usually that's why big people go to independent, because it keeps them alive, I guess.
So what's he been in the news?
FKA Twigs. I've never heard her music personally. I think she's British, mixed race girl, and like, I wouldn't say R&B, probably like an alternative R or something. She was in a relationship with him, and she said he was a psycho. She couldn't eat without his say so. He would force her to sleep naked, because he said wearing clothes is like you keeping yourself from me in some capacity. When she'd lie there and just be thinking, daydreaming, he'd say, you're lying there thinking about how you're gonna leave me. Like, psycho. More shit as well. I think he's done and used to hit her. Big singer, and she had management label, and basically she said she just stayed with it, like, she stayed with it in it. She thought, oh man, nah, I'm not going out like this. Like, I'm not gonna be out like I'm getting beaten, I'm acting on that. I'd rather deal with this myself, which I can see that. Now, I reckon people would like slander her and say, you asked for it. Like, that's really insensitive. But he's a psycho. And one thing that she said is he admitted to her he would go around and shoot stray dogs getting to character for his films. So I'm not particularly an animal lover, but I'm not an animal hater either. I'm indifferent to them. But I can see the narrative here would be he murders homeless animals, like natural wild animals. He murders them to get into... So he couldn't act without killing something. Like, what the fuck?
Isn't that how they say serial killers and like those murderers?
Like, number one thing they start
off with the animals, and then they move on to okay.
I mean, he's always struck me as a weirdo, to be honest. And I'm like, what? This is what I'm saying. Like that Army Hammer, when it's come out, like 10 girlfriends and all these people have come out and said that he wanted to eat
Do you know what my asshole question in all of this is? At what point did he confess to murdering stray dogs?
To her, he said best shit.
To her, which was the point where she was like, right, I gotta get out of here. How long were they in the relationship before?
Oh, wow.
You know, her IQ kicked in and she was like,
here's the thing, you got to get out in ya, so you got to figure out how. I think she went to her phone box, I think, somehow at one point and did a thing to someone. I think she called Samaritans. No, that's it. She called the Samaritans from a phone box, and she was kind of like, she's like, I was kind of numb doing it, but I was doing it. And then she said the person, when she described her situation, she said the person was so urgent, like, okay, so where is he and where are you? Like, so like urgent, as if she was on the phone to the police or an ambulance. And that hit her like shit, this is bad, like, I'm just taking it, I'm withstanding it, but this is fucking, like, I gotta get out. Because they were acting like her life was at risk.
Do you know what would be great? Some kind of platform where people discuss mental health moments in which, an example like this, there's a scary amount of, I don't know if it's low self-esteem or if it's low self-worth or just fear of a human being. She must have been so fearful to believe that is how I should be treated and this is okay, this is all fine, let's just keep on going. So much so that another person's reaction to her situation is what made her kind of put two and two together and realize, oh no, this is not right.
Yeah. And I think, she was trying to, I think when she's obviously they've been in a relationship for, I think it was a year, or maybe more. And obviously she made a connection with someone and then she's realized, wow, you are demented and also you're a big star. And how the fuck do I cope with even people finding out? She said basically after she got out and she waited a while, she said he was trying to, like, you know, get out and she said to him, like, the depravities of what I know you're capable of and what you said you've done and all these things. Like, she said this to him in private. She said to do something about this. I know you can't have me know and you be just like continuing to do all this sick shit. And she said go to a therapist, like, I'll be with you through this. And he said, what? What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? You're not. You're making it up. And he says that to the news to this day. So, she said, well, I'm going to the public now. This can't continue. Yeah, that's what I mean. These people need to just stop. Like, everyone idolizes all these celebrities and then look at what they're doing behind the scenes.
Well, do you know what? They're all people. I mean, just because they earn their living by means of, you know, distribution into every single brain that can perceive and identify them. Fine, that's cool, but they're still people. Yeah. You know, they, like all of us, they struggled down that vaginal canal and took her first breath and haven't stopped since.
Psychos like psychos, so from there's bare psychos in Hollywood, they're gonna get more of the same.
Murdering animals so that you can run around in front of a CGI talking to...
Yeah, you talentless prick, you know what I mean? You talentless, spineless prick, trash. You dirtbag. So I hope your life gets cancelled and everyone's just like, all right now, because this has been going. Do you remember when he ran around with a bag on his? What he's doing mad things when he's streaking and I don't know, trying yeah, like on some mad Charlie Sheen shit.
He had, before this incident, he had something thinking like the 2015 or so that
video with Shia, very loud.
What was it that he did?
In a big bird cage and the little girl's got the little wig on. And he interpretive dancing, but it was all very sexual and he was parting her leg up and it was just unnecessary.
I reckon on the topic of parting ways, the last topic was the royalty of the United Kingdom. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Meghan. I did a random search the other day, right? I did a Google search of all her movies.
Oh, really? I thought she was only in Suit.
Yeah, I think that was like, I wouldn't say the biggest thing she did. I saw her in Horrible Bosses, that's it. I was watching Horrible Bosses again. It was on some movie channel and she's in it. There's so much of you around and like even some really like sex scenes and all sorts of stuff.
I think I saw her topless. Yeah, there's pictures of her topless online. I better not. I'll keep my comments to myself.
Well, they're being stripped of their titles, aren't they?
Yeah, wasn't there a debacle about how...
You know, she saved him, innit? She saved Harry. She saved him. He's not Charles's son. He's not. Everyone knows this. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm not saying it on this.
He's supposed to be Dodie's son.
No, I'm like, but for real, like, we might as well just say it because people actually don't talk about this, and it's one of the weirdest things in England. So he's a ginger guy and he had a fling with Diana, got pregnant, had a kid. The kid is his double, looked just like him, like exactly like him. Everyone knew to the point where the press was asking him in like a big thing. I can't remember who did it, big interview. And he was like, it was all insinuated like this is when we're talking to someone who is in this situation. And he said, pretty much my life's at stake. Like, are you kidding me? I'm not. What do you want me to do? Like, and obviously Diana had written that when she was pregnant, Charles had no capacity for connection to her or the baby in any form or factor. He couldn't care less. She was so suicidal one night, she threw herself down the stairs when she was pregnant, and he didn't blink an eyelid. One time she cut herself with like a letter opener. He didn't even blink. She did it in front of him, like sociopathic people. And who knows what else they put her through. But what I mean by Meghan saved him is he's not royal by blood. Like Diana's family weren't just no ones. They were aristocrats. What's the other one? The other princess, not Meghan.
Beatrix? Okay.
Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton, okay.
Her family are also aristocratic. They pretended in the marketing was that she was a no one. They went to uni together and oh, that's a love story. She's an aristocrat. Her family is related to Diana's family. Her granddad used to wipe the arse of fucking one of Diana's, when the kings and they used to, he was a arse wiper for Diana's family. And the families were like, employed and all together, you know how they go. And it was like, yeah, it's weird. So this Meghan Markle, has got in there and is dipped. She's like, they're gonna try and kill me. Once you get in there, you must be like, what? Diana kind of was groomed for it, even though she didn't handle it well either. Well, I guess she did. She actually handled it excellently. But yeah, Meghan's smart. I think she just gone in and done the thing. Now they're losing their titles, and the theories are that Kate and William's titles will also be taken away, so that when Elizabeth dies, she's the last reigning monarch of England.
I think she'll also be the longest reigning monarch.
She is already, yeah. She is already.
That is a title for her to go out with a bang.
Yeah.
I just Google search. The man's name is James Lifford Hewitt.
That's it, James Hewitt.
He's listed as a former British cavalry officer in the British Army. Don't know. I don't see anything about him being a tennis player, but...
Oh, what did I think that?
Yeah, there's a picture of him. He's playing, I think that's polo?
Oh, maybe polo then.
Polo or something, yeah. But,
don't he look like Harry?
Yeah, looking at the pictures, Harry does look like him. Have to say he really does. Could be a coincidence. May not be. I don't know, personally.
No.
But,
but,
they've got all the money in the world. We need to go to paying some bills.
We sure do. We sure do.
Not have all the money in the world, man.
No, we've got to keep the lights on. So we'll be right back.
Now streaming, the first 3 episodes of the new sci-fi audio drama and upcoming book series, Starlight, Retheme's Revenge. Start your journey with Fox, REQ, and the crew aboard the Starlight Express as they navigate perilous dangers and face off with the deadly Retheme. Written and narrated by Saint, the audio drama will continue this December when the book hits stores near you. Start the story now on major podcast stores including Podbean, Samsung, and more. Be sure to share the story and leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed the show and want to hear more. Now, let's get back to Moe Vader and Saint.
Welcome back to Vexxed Uncensored with me, Saint.
And me, Moe Vader.
We just paid the bills and now we found ourselves in our favourite part of the show where we talk about what's vexed us this week.
It's the slanderous, the insatiable, the problematic, the honest, and downright uncensored vexed moments.
So yeah, in the Hot Topics we spoke about celebrities and them doing kind of not just shady stuff behind the scenes, but like really horrific, abusive, murderous, weird, just sick stuff behind the scenes. And it's like over the years things get brought out about people, sometimes after they're dead, but we're in a time where so much is coming out about people on like a every week basis that there's no real kind of gauge as to what we should keep around or not keep around, like as far as celebrities are concerned. Certain actors have like been in really sick scandals and to this day work. Usually obviously white actors and actresses and stuff like this and singers and stuff because privilege, but it's like, for instance, the Elvis Presley stuff. He was like however many years older than...
Wasn't she 15? Something Presley. I know. There's something like Priscilla, that's it. Priscilla. She was 14, 15. He was what, 25? I think he was in his 20s. Let's see.
I wouldn't be surprised. And like he was glorified as just this wonder. They were like white wonder, but he wasn't even white. He was Cherokee and white. Alright, yeah, alright.
So this is saying that Priscilla was 21 years old, though she had been living with Elvis's father and stepmother at Graceland.
So under 21's underage in America?
In Texas, I think.
Yeah. 17, and how old? 21.
So at the very least.
I mean, he could have waited till she was 18.
Yeah, she was living on site and he waited. They'll say that that statement is conjuncture. there's always benefit.
We're men. She's a woman.
Without an allegation.
We weren't taken advantage of, we were high-fived. But yeah, anyway, it's pretty fucked up. I mean, I'm not going to now list all of the celebrities and the things they've done, because that'd be so unnecessary. But it's like, listen, I think I only idolised a few people when I was a kid, like, not really anyone. I didn't really care. You know, appreciate music, appreciate film. You just don't, I didn't attach myself. Why? They act like talent runs out. And half the people doing this shit these days ain't even talented. So why put up with these motherfuckers doing this shit? It's not even smart. And I know everyone's entitled to a private life, but what? You're clearly dangerous. Yeah. Most of these people are dangerous one way or another. And yeah, it's like, how many more? Is everyone just should we just write them all off and just say, right, what we're going to do now? If you close down Hollywood, something else is going to come up. YouTube and all of this, right? And all these famous influencers, sorry, they're just usually dumb as fuck, and it's proven over and over. They're ignorant as fuck. They're not all I'm sure not all of them, but just they've got no touch in reality. They get a bunch of money and they're just validated off of YouTube videos, destroy property, do all sorts of fucked up shit, and it's no one can stop their money. No one can stop the fans liking them. No one's taking their YouTube videos down. No one's really doing anything about anything. So it's just the Sodom and Gomorrah show is just 24/7, and you just have to, you don't have a choice but to witness it, you know what I mean? So all this Me Too and all these separate times up and all of this separate shit, it's okay, can we just say this is all pretty much fucked up? And what's the pattern here?
It's true.
Vast amount of money and just debauchery.
That's true. It's a horrible trend to...
I mean, do you need 20 million for a movie?
I've never understood it myself, to be fair with you. I don't know...
20 million?
What costs what?
Yeah. The
licenses,
I mean, I guess if something fucking generates a lot of money, you should get a good cut of it, but... It's just I don't know, maybe there should be a cap on capital. Well, this wouldn't be capitalism. A cap on capitalism in the sense of you can only earn a certain amount of million as a corporation before the rest gets siphoned off and gets given to literally society. And just the regeneration projects, that was just solve it all. And then you're still thriving to do your art, you're still passionate, you're still fiery, and you're still contributing to society, but you're not being ruined by money or the love of it.
That's actually a good point that ties into my Vex segment. So I've had a gripe with social engineering in that when we look at the geographical map of the United Kingdom and its cities, what is the determining factor for the issues that a particular area, a particular geographical part of that city, of that map, suffers a concentration of the same issues, which doesn't allow or permit for that area to elevate beyond what it is that destroys it. So an area which is overrun with available drugs is also overrun with drug-related crime and deprivation. An area which is overly populated with, say, a haven for offenders of the sexual nature, the crime rate relating to that is also higher. The trend would suggest that strings, or perhaps coincident, is and has a part to play. It's a worry and it's a problem. You know, you sort of live in a fear of, oh, goodness me, I don't want this or that to come my way. It's happening to so-and-so and this and that and that and this.
It's true, and I'm not surprised that in certain areas with high stress, there's high illness and high disability and high, do you know what I mean? Mostly because people work themselves to death as well. So, you know, especially if you're just want to make money and live a good life, regardless of anything, your area or upbringing, you just want to have a go at it. That's the one thing everyone can do, right, is get a job and make money. Everyone, once you turn a certain age, you're good. Maybe even before, if you're family business, You know what I mean? But yeah, it's like, I don't know, there is a profitability off of that, because where you've got poor areas, you've got mismanagement of money because you don't have financial literacy. So they're going betting shops. They're going to all the like rip-off high street stores. They're going to the pubs, but like, you know, the cheap, you know, where they do all the cheap fucking alcohol like offers, the dodgy tobacco, the dodgy cigarettes, what else, like everything you can think of. And financial services, retail services, payday loans, cash converters, pawn shops. Like there's a profitability in it off of the poor, because they're still earning money, they're just not keeping it. And don't know where to put it to make it grow. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, obviously, come back to London, this area was a lot rougher than it is now. And I'm kind of getting used to it now. At first it was weird, but I kind of prefer it now. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in a nicer, cleaned up version of where they've spent time growing up, you know what I mean? Like, so there's that, but at the same time, you feel like when there's a higher capacity of a race you haven't spent much time around, you feel quite awkward sometimes. Especially here, like you've got the Wetherspoons pub, right, don't you? And everyone goes in there. But there's another pub which is kind of, I don't know, it's been redone anyway. It was Hobgoblin, isn't it? And now it's kind of, I don't know what they want to call it, but yeah, just very white and just very like and boring, and just kind of stiff upper lip, and you stand at the door forever because they're just talking to whites and they're dressed in whites, and you know, maybe you've got a, I don't know. So it's one of them things.
Yeah, it's not a particularly welcoming establishment.
I took one drink and left. I was not sitting in that. If I ain't welcome, then what am I sitting here spending money for? I'm not doing it. It's choices in life, and there's always another choice. So good luck, motherfuckers.
Good luck to him. Well,
but yeah, I mean, that's adequate to be vexed about, isn't it? Oh my days, did you see, I know this is off topic, did you see the snow in Texas?
What? Snow in Texas?
Right. My man, like the storm, if you Google that, the storm is so bad, people like have no electricity, no water, like nothing, bro. Everything's freezing up. It's insane. Never happened. Like,
I didn't see it. Wow. Snow in Texas, 16th of February. Yeah, power cuts, -10 degrees.
And they're used to like 7, is that our degrees or their?
No, it's our degrees, Celsius hours.
They're used to like what,
Fahrenheit, 14 Fahrenheit. They'll use 14 degrees Fahrenheit. We use -10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, they used to sweltering heat, so that's bad. And Texas is the size of France. That's a lot of people and a lot of snow. So shouts out people in Texas. We have American listeners. If you're in Texas, shout out to you, man. Wrap up and like, geez, get out there. Get out.
Prepare your lemon and ginger. Stay inside. This is not your climate.
It's not your climate, yeah. Yeah, man. Switch on that heat and just worry about the bills later.
It's a state of emergency anyway. Yeah,
so that's insane. Shout out to you guys. But I believe we are going to wrap it up.
It's been a pleasure.
It sure has, guys. Watch out for a new episode next week, as usual. But yes, guys, if there's any parting words, Mo?
Take care of yourselves. Stay warm. If you can, make sure you eat and you drink lots of water, and the rest will take care of itself.
That's it.
Have you ever wanted your own podcast, solo or with your co-host? Follow us on Instagram at Vexxed Art Brands and send us a message. We look forward to discussing your amazing ideas. You never know what could happen.